Hey guys, how's everybody doing? We have the nice spring warm weather out, which I'm like, it's nice, but then I think of global warming, so I'm like stuck in the middle a little bit, but it's definitely a nice change from like the brick winter and having all of my knuckles with blood on them from all the like creases, Jesus. And to all my college peeps, I hope you guys have been studying because it is midterms month. And that means that you guys are gonna ace everything, right? Because I know I am. So we should just like insert like that, like applying nail polish emoji. Like, yes, queen, acing the midterms, with a coffee in a hand. Alright. So as you may have picked up in my last video, I like to refer to myself as žena koja zna, which means the woman who knows. And it's in Croatian since Croatia is my homeland. Bless, bless, bless. I started referring to myself as žena koja zna when I reached a level of unapologetically loving myself and, you know, all those like good happy emotions and like positivity that comes with that and like all that mushiness and like inner peace and anyway, sometimes I make myself crack up. It's fine. Like, if I ever become a comedian, which I don't think I'll ever pursue, but like, I just need like 50 clones of Nova in the audience because then I'll just laugh at everything that I say. Like, I really go around like my house sometimes and like telling myself jokes. I'm like, hey, I'm so funny. In this video, I want to talk about specifically romanticizing yourself. Now, what do I mean by romanticizing? The best way that I could really explain this is kind of having an artistic aesthetic for yourself. Oh snap, look, another emoji. Hey. When I say I'm žena koja zna, it refers to the wise woman inside of me. And she guides me and she gives me advice. It's me. It's not an alter ego. It's not a Sasha Fierce for Beyonce kind of thing. This refers to kind of like my spiritual guide and my best friend that could see and focus on everything outside of myself. It refers to the best friend inside of me. It refers to my gut instinct. It refers to my passion. So when I say žena koja zna, it means that I'm a woman who knows her path and knows what she wants and knows how to go out and get it. Yes, can I get an amen? Amen. Amen. There's different variations to this. It doesn't mean I know everything. Sips tea. Like, that's not what I'm referring to. Being a woman who knows, it could also refer to, you know what? I know that right now I may be confused about this, but I know that in due time I will figure it out. Or I know that this doesn't seem right, but I know in due time that I will figure out what to do with the situation. So it doesn't just refer to being this almighty and I know everything, I'm so full of knowledge and like I'm gonna rule the world. No, that's not what I'm referring to. But I know, as a woman who knows, that I will know in the future. Whoa. Like slow motion. So, I invite you guys to romanticize yourselves because that explains the most beautiful form of self-love, I believe. It's kind of like writing poems for who you believe you are, like your highest self. So when you think of your favorite fictional character, think of the fact that that is the protagonist of the book, right? You're the protagonist of your life. And just like you view, let's say, your favorite fictional protagonist, that is how you should view yourself in your life. You should always be cheering yourself on and you should always be rooting for yourself and always seeing the bigger picture. So in that regard, think of all the things that you have gone through in your life. Whether they're positive or negative, think about what kind of phrase, it could be a sentence, you could refer to a sentence, but the most ideal thing is a word so that immediately like you think to it and you're like, okay, I remember this. So for instance, it could be goddess. A lot of women call themselves goddesses. I am one of them and I call myself a goddess. It could be based off of your roots, for instance. It could be based off your zodiac sign. It really could be anything that you want. And whenever you say this word or this phrase or this sentence in your head, always come back to remembering to get in center, to stay rooted, to stay balanced, and that despite any occurrences or any obstacles in your way, you'll slay it. The society focuses so much on our flaws and our insecurities and just like manifesting this fear onto us, when in actuality, like, we're all made of stardust. So you guys are all magical beings, and use that power. Use that power that you have in yourself. Call upon that wise woman to give you advice, to give you guidance, to remember to see yourself outside of that situation. It's one thing to experience life through emotions, but it's another thing to experience life through your conscious emotions, in which you could look to yourself going through that situation outside of your body. And what would you tell yourself as advice? You're the protagonist of your favorite book, okay? And she's about to open this door. So now, what are you going to tell her before she opens that door? And that is how you should start to see yourself, okay? Not just living through one consciousness of temporarily going through one emotion to the next, but really consciously striving to experience and to heal while manifesting your future self to your present self. And another exercise that I like to use that really helps me put everything physically onto paper, because I'm a very visual and kinetic learner, which I mentioned in the last video. I like to create mood boards, but they're not mood boards. They're more like mixtures of shrines and quotes and my favorite memorabilia or things like that. And I invite you guys to create this sort of space that you consciously manifest to and you give life to. And it could be different topics. Like, for instance, if you want to focus on strength, what kind of mood or what kind of shrine could really embody that? I'm a huge fan of bucket lists. So what I like to do is you could create a shrine through different ways of, for instance, putting pictures of what you want to do as part of a bucket list and then putting quotes on those photos. You could also put all your books in a favorite section right next to your bucket list so that it emphasizes what you're trying to do. So this little shrine and mood board or mood section in your house or your apartment, it really will emphasize what you're trying to manifest. It could include pictures, it could include birthday cards, it could include your graduation cap, it could include your favorite letter of recommendation. Pretty much like a little happy box, pretty much, that you could either choose to have it be isolated and refer back to it, or to have something out in the open so that you look at it every single morning. And these will be kind of like your happiest moments, and moments that will remind you of your roots, and moments that will remind you of, for instance, how you've changed and how you've progressed and how you've grown. It's kind of like an artistic, aesthetic version to journaling. I like journaling, but personally, the reason that I like to manifest to shrines more is because I feel that there's a different kind of energy. Because, for instance, like when you're manifesting to a shrine or a mood board or a happiness box, you're really living in the reality of peace and also your future aspirations simultaneously. Whereas with journaling, since it's just a stream of consciousness, you're going it not on a full circle basis, but you're doing it in a way that it's just here and now, which is beautiful. It's practicing present tense and really coping mechanisms. But however, if you really want to focus on bettering yourself, it's beautiful to have this sort of physical space that embodies the kind of environment and vibrations that you want to be around. A friendship section, you can have an adventure section, any kinds of things that you want to call upon into your life. And then you could beautifully set up a few crystals there, a few candles, have a few growing flowers. I love to plant flowers, and I kiss my flowers every morning practically, because they're little newborns and they're gonna be like a little bonsai tree, and it's gonna be adorable. Your crystals and your plants are alive, so show them some love and show them some presents. This is my little, well, it's gonna be a little bonsai tree, but this is what I have so far. And it's real cute. I don't know, I'm gonna make up the names like right now. little Timmy. I don't know, little Jimmy. I don't know, Patricia. I don't know, she gives me like a Patricia vibe. Then we could do, Samelia. Ooh, I like the name Samelia. I've never heard of the name. And then I could do, Avon, since it's like the opposite of Nova. Let's do it. For instance, like if you keep plants, try to symbolically see yourself as a plant. Now, I know that sounds really cheesy and like goofy, but at the end of the day, all your dreams and all your thoughts and all your aspirations are like little seeds that you're planting. So as much as you nurture and you take care and you put in the right sunlight and you make sure that it practices self-care by watering and nurturing itself, that's the way that you should look at yourself. Okay, you're like a little bonsai tree. Wait, you're like Patricia. I'm patient with them. You gotta be patient with yourself. You're a little tree that has strong roots, and I love that this is like turned into like AP English class. Just like I'm outside of their experience as plants growing, that's how sometimes you should be outside of your experience growing. The thing that I always try to keep in mind is the fact that we're souls living a human experience, not vice versa. Invite that kind of manifestation, those kind of vibrations into your life. So be patient with yourself as you're growing and nurture yourself and take care of yourself. And just like the plants need proper sunlight and water, think about what your needs are and think about all the kinds of different themes and topics that you want to have in your life. So what kind of little things can you keep adding every day, maybe into your shrine or your memory box, in order to see that you've been progressing? So let's say today, after being afraid of public speaking for like all my life, I decide to go first in class and present my speech. So maybe that day you could put in your little box a sign of progression. You could put that essay as a reminder into your box. So it's kind of like a growing process, and then you could manifest to that. Say, you know what? Today I passed my first step of doing something that I was scared of, and tomorrow I'm going to continue manifesting all the things that I want to bring into my life. So I hope everybody starts romanticizing themselves and that you try to provide a sort of positive manifestation into your life by creating a physical aspect of all the things that you want into your life. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't already, please check out my website. It's NOVABAJAMONTI.com. And also I changed my Instagram name to, ironically, Žena koja. So here it is spelled out in Croatian, because I know that's pretty rough to say in English. So add me, let's be friends. And I hope you guys have a great time manifesting and romanticizing yourselves. Hey, lovey-dovey vibes in the building. Much love.